it's Rob and welcome to Axel's Garage. Today on Axel's, it's freaking cold because it went from like 90 degrees to 55 degrees faster than some of that saw a state trooper on the side of the highway. So we've been off for a couple weeks because we got this project going on that we haven't been filming yet. We're not ready to film it yet. But when we do, you'll see why we've been slowing down with some of the videos because we got this other project going on. But in the meantime, it's getting cold and Amanda left her Jeep home, didn't bring it back to school. She took a different car back to school, and we need to button it up for the winter. So what we have is a top that's pretty much has no back window anymore and is falling apart. So we're able to get another top for it. Didn't put that on yet. We're going to film that. Putting a replacement top on. We got new seat covers because these Smitty built cheapo seat covers that you buy at a Quadrant Tech, 49 bucks or something like that, and you get the front and the rear. They only last about 2 years. They fade in 6 months, and they start to just rip apart and fall apart at the seams after about 2 years. So we're going to replace them with hopefully a better set. We'll see. I think they're all just crappy. But anyway, I've been driving this thing around just to make sure everything's running well, and I found some issues. The main thing that was driving me nuts was I couldn't turn the windshield wipers off. I turned them on one day when it was raining, couldn't turn them off. So I tried to troubleshoot it, and it seems that all the information I could find online about troubleshooting that window motor, if it works at all speeds, the wiper motor, if it works at all speeds, usually the motor's pretty good. And the only way we could turn it off is by pulling the fuse out, which is what we did, and we haven't been driving it in the rain. So I'm gambling, and I really don't like to gamble. I usually like to troubleshoot a little bit more, but from what I could tell, if it's working at all speeds, and it's not turning off usually the switch. And the reason why I'm willing to gamble on the switch, and this is a standard brand replacement switch. It's a DS1063, which covers usually the 97 all the way up to around 2000 Jeep Wranglers. It's the basic wiper switch. So it's the arm, and it's got the intermittent wipers, and that's all this does is wash and on off on the things. If you have a multifunction here, then it's a little bit different. If you have some other features, usually in the later years, not in the early ones. But what did happen when she was home over the summer was she got caught twice with the top completely off in a tremendous downpour. And her radio fried, so the radio's not working anymore, and that's when she started noticing a little bit of problem with the wiper switch. And when I started driving it, it completely just does not turn off the wipers anymore. So we're thinking that getting this whole dash area flooded twice, I mean really wet 2 times, probably did that switch in, and we're going to replace the switch. We'll show you how to do it. It shouldn't be too hard, and hopefully that'll fix the problem. We'll see. Alright, so up under the dash you have this plastic bezel that goes on, and it's held in with 2 screws. They're Phillips head screws. You go up like this and you try to find the screw head. Sometimes it's a little tough, and there's one there and one there. There's also this thingamadicky here, and I'm pretty sure that if you take a small screwdriver and you just pop it up in there, that's how you get your ignition switch out. So you turn the key on and you push up, and I think it gets it out. Done this a couple times. Not always the easiest. I don't remember what I stuck in here the last time. There it goes. You just push up, and there's like some kind of tab, and your ignition switch comes out. So you pull your ignition switch out. You got to have the ignition switch on to pull it out with the key in it. Alright, so you pull that out, and you take your Phillips head, and all I put up in here was a small Phillips head screwdriver, or a narrow one I should say. And then you fish your Phillips head up in here, find the screw head, which can be a challenge a little bit sometimes. Yes, I do have a band-aid on my finger. I got a boo-boo. A boo-boo. There's one screw fell out. This one didn't fall out, so I probably don't have it all the way out yet. It's only screwed into plastic, so it's like a really coarse thread Phillips head screwed into plastic.
Looks like you gotta pull on both sides.
Alright, there's the other screw. And is there a third? Maybe there's a third that I'm missing. No, that's just a hole. Oh, there is a third. Look at that. There's a third. Alright, so there's one back here. So that one's hard to see. I always miss that one. And I say, oh yeah, there's a third. I'll remember that for the next time. And then the next time comes, and I don't remember it. So you get that third out. And once you get that third all the way out, hopefully this thing will come out nice and easy. If you remember that there's a third one there, it would probably be easier to take the third one out first. Because finding the head of the Phillips head is the challenge. And then that's going to come off like that. Wow, that's dirty. Big Dummy's going to have to clean that. He's my cameraman today. And then you tilt the wheel down all the way, and when you tilt the wheel down all the way, you should be able to shimmy off this top cover. You got to get it around the tilt lever, and you should be able to pull it out. You got to bendy the plastic a little as you pull it out. And once you get it all the way out, and it's dirty on both sides. So now we want to replace this guy here. So, all right. So looking at the new one, there's a screw in the top up over here, and that is a Phillips head. And there's also a Phillips head in the top up over here that you would take out to replace your multifunction switch, which is the directional on this side. And it doesn't, where do the wires plug in? Oh, the wires plug in through the back. So there should be some kind of harness or something there. Yep, there is. And there's a little wire harness that plugs into the back, which I don't even think I could get my fat fingers on. So let me try to take it off, then do the wires. Alright, so you got these two screws up top here. I'm not sure if they both need to come out, but we'll zip them out just to give ourselves some room. I think this whole, there's a metal bracket on top for the multifunction switch. I think that whole thing might have to come out. Gotta get a better screwdriver. This is a shitty Phillips head. So there's these two screws. I think I don't want to come out of the bracket. And this bracket sort of bends up over your hazard switch. Alright, now this guy comes right up. It's got two locating tabs on the bottom. Popped right out. It's got a little, well, that's dirty, huh? It's got a little tab that you press down to pull the wires out. And that's it. Now the new switch, where did we put that new switch? There it is. Alright, the new switch doesn't have a little rubber doohickey on it. Wonder if we could slide that off. Yep. Rubber doohickey off. Clean it with my sweatshirt. We'll slide the rubber doohickey on this one. It's supposed to prevent dust from coming in there, yeah, right. Alright, if you really want to get crazy, you can put a little dielectric grease on the contacts. We're not getting that crazy, because we got other stuff we got to do today. Let's see if we can get this in here fast. Alright. Find the little locating tabs on the bottom. Where the hell are they? There they are. Alright, there's the two locating tabs that are right above the ignition switch right here. And slide straight down. And when you got it in, you know it's in. You got to give it a little wiggle here and there. Well, it's in. And when it's in, you know it's in like that. It's nice. So then we'll flap this. If you put the hazards on, it's easier. Flap this bracket back on. Screws in. At this point, if we really wanted to get snazzy, we could throw the fuse back in before we put it all together and see if that solved our problem. Should we do that, Robbie? What do you think? The big dummy gave me a shrug. That's the standard answer, shrug. Because right now we have access to the wires if we want to further troubleshoot. Alright, so this is the time that you should be doing it. Let's do that.
Since you said you like troubleshooting, then do it.
Alright, so let's go behind the glove compartment and pop the fuse in. Good. Alright, so we put the fuse in. The fuse is located behind the glove compartment over there. There's a little fuse distribution center behind the glove compartment. It's labeled, it says front wiper, and there's our wipers on slow. That's delay. Alright, that's faster delay. And then we got low. Then we got high. Back to low. Back to delay. And off. And they are off.
Speaking of this, my delays don't work.
Your delays don't work? That's weird on your truck. Alright, so the big dummy just informed me his delay doesn't work on his K5, which we'll have to look at one day. We have other issues with the K5 that we have to handle first. Alright, so this is back in. Alright, while the wheel's tilted down, we're going to put the top piece on. The top piece isn't too dirty, so we're going to put the top piece on just like it is. Alright, and again, you got this, see this stud right here is the thing that makes it tough to get in. So you got to get that around your wiper switch there. And once you get that all the way in the back, then it pretty much goes on nice and easy. Alright, and then it just sits on top, and the bottom one is gonna bolt up to it. Alright, the little rubber thing goes behind, and the ignition switch goes in last. Alright, before we put the bottom piece on, the big dummy is going to put the video camera down, and he's going to clean this thing because this is disgusting. Look at that. Look, that's all like tree pollen crap. Can you clean that, please? Hit the button? Alright, so the big dummy cleaned it out. Alright, what you're going to do is you're going to slide it in. You got to get, again, this is going to be your interference thing. So you're going to sort of slide it in and get that long stud past anything that's going to interfere with it. And once you slide it in, and you just go straight up, and it fits, and the ignition release button will slide there, and it'll sort of like hold it in place. So at this point, being you got it in position, you could put your ignition cylinder back in. This is the tab right here that you were pressing on in order to pull it out. And that tab will only get activated when the switch is in the on position. And when you slide it back in, you just sort of wiggle it to find the hole where it's supposed to be, and it'll go back in. Of course, it's going to fight with me now. Alright, find the hole, and then turn the ignition off, press your little button there, and it locks back into place. See, that won't come out. And you can turn your ignition off. And you get your screwdriver, and you want to put your 3 screws in. I guess we'll start with the back one because that gave us the biggest pain in the ass. Put it in. And they don't have to go real tight, they're just snug. Because like I said, it's only a metal screw into a plastic stand. I call it a stand, I don't know what you would call it. So you just get it and you just snug it up a little bit. And that's good. Alright, hit the button. Alright, so that was it. We used 2 tools A regular Phillips head, I guess that would be like a number 2, and a little skinny Phillips head to hit that ignition thing. You could probably hit it with the number 2, so you might only need one tool. Alright? Nice and simple. This thing in the trash. Alright? She got caught in the rain. And what did it cost? It only took, what, 15 minutes? Even explaining it, right, Robbie? What did it take? 15 minutes or so? 20 minutes tops explaining it. Probably could have done it in 10 if we weren't filming it. Right? $79 for that mother effing switch. It's expensive. The cheapest place I could find it was on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below where you could find that switch. It was the cheapest I could find it anywhere. It was like $69 or $79, whatever it was. But top down, twice being caught in the rain, what happened? Radio, that's $100 for those Pioneer or Sony, run-of-the-mill radios, the Bluetooth radios, and that switch. So almost $200 for getting caught in the rain twice. Kind of sucked. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us that thumbs up. And if you like what we're doing here at Access Garage, subscribe to our channel. And as always, thanks for watching.